to Athens. Today's game is brought to you in part by Madison Avenue Pharmacy, Hoffman Flooring, Star Regional Medical Center, Inns Insurance, All Things Exterior, and Simmons Bank. And now with today's play-by-play, here's Jared Wright.
Thank you, Handsome Dan, and once again, welcome in to James L. Robb Gymnasium as we get set for Appalachian Athletic Conference basketball here on this Wednesday evening. And the Battle of Highway 30 or Washington Ferry Bridge, whatever we want to call it, but it's the Bryan Lady Lions coming to face off against the Tennessee Wesleyan Lady Bulldogs. And Coach Stan Harrison by my side once again. And Coach, this is a matchup that you have coached in, developed into a rivalry game. But what does this game mean to this community and also the Dayton community?
Well, we recruit a lot of the same players, and so they see each other quite a bit. They've seen each other in high school, but these two teams for years were the top two teams in the conference, battled back and forth for supremacy within the conference. So it has developed into a pretty good rivalry. Of late, we've not been as competitive in that rivalry we need to be. So hopefully things will start to turn our way here starting tonight.
It has been 9 straight losses for the Lady Bulldogs. Bryan College has kind of put together a dynasty. You have to go back, I think, to the early 2000s, even the 90s. They had the Bash twins there while you were coaching that were dominant, but it has been all Bryan College in this matchup. Although if you look at the last 38 games between these two ball clubs, they're even at 19 and 19. So a chance for the Lady Bulldogs to take a one-game advantage and find Bryan, who currently sits in second. They've been at the top of the conference standings. They're currently in second. Lady Bulldogs tied for 5th currently. So chance for the Lady Bulldogs to get back into the win column after they dropped the road loss at Reinhardt 63-48 on Saturday. Bryan comes in having won 3 games in a row, which includes at Bluefield, Bernal, and Kentucky Christian. So it will be a tough go for it, but again, a lot of local people stepping into James L. Robb for this one, and we are going to go ahead and take a 60-second break. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. Back here at James L. Robb Gymnasium as we get set for the starting lineups to be announced between these two ball clubs. Lady Bulldogs under Jeff Rice in his 17th season will be facing off against Gabe Johnson, who's in his first after Brian Lawhon made his way up to Johnson University. And so it's kind of a new face there for the Lady Lions, and they will start number 1, Destiny Kasner, a 5'11 senior forward from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Number 12, Caitlin Hennessy, the 5'11 senior guard from right here in Athens, Tennessee, averages 12.5 per game. Number 24, Katie Farrell, a 5'10 freshman forward from Smithville, Tennessee. 25, Alyssa Milosky, 5'7 junior guard from Lebanon, Tennessee. And 34, Samantha Russell, a 5'10 senior forward from Tellico Plains, Tennessee. On the other hand, for Jeff Rice, he will start the usual 5. We give him a hard time about this, but it's consistent. Number 1, Anna Crowder, 5'9 sophomore forward from Decatur, Tennessee. Number 4, Jacelyn Stone, the 5'5 sophomore guard from Decatur as well. Number 20, McKaylee Martin, a 6' sophomore forward from Sweetwater, Tennessee. Number 21, Cambry Mayo, the 5'7 sophomore guard from Cleveland, Tennessee. And 23, Jordan Wright, 5'7", senior guard from the Oda, Tennessee, averages 11.1. Jacob Jimenez-Diaz, we expect her to be the sixth person off the bench. She averages 12.2 points per game, along with Stone averaging 10.4. That's some double-figure scoring for the Lady Bulldogs. Coach Harrison, Coach Stone will be the men's coach later, but Coach Harrison, what does this Lady Bulldog team need to do against the Bryan team that's had their number as of late, including a loss at Bryan 90-64 earlier this season?
Well, if it's a usual Bryan team we've seen in the last few years, they're going to have to get to the perimeter shooters because they will put it up. They like to shoot the three. But they're compared to us, they're quite a bit taller at every position. And so we're going to have to rebound, try to limit their shots, and then we've got to shoot the ball better than we have in the last few games, especially in the fourth quarter on Saturday.
Yeah, it was definitely a trying time on Saturday. It was kind of the opposite of what the Lady Bulldogs had seen over against the Johnson game, where the overrated team had played bad. That was the way it was at Reinhardt, but then Reinhardt only allowed Wesleyan to make one bucket in the fourth quarter, and Jordan Wright quickly got the tip and took it to the right side of the floor and missed the layup. Some contact there defensively. Now it's Hennessy out front with it for Bryan. Road red uniforms, white numerals trimmed in black. Lady Bulldogs, all white uniforms, blue numerals. As they open up person-to-person defense, it looks like. Maybe even, it's going to be person-to-person. Now on the baseline, there was Molosky feeding it inside. Turnaround by Farrell is no good, but she's going to draw 2 free throws coming from McKaylee Martin already.
Looking hard down inside, looking to play inside out with it. As I said, certainly got the height advantage down inside, so trying to power it down in there.
So it'll be Farrell at the line, 57% shooter on the season. Converts the first one to give the first point of the ball game to Bryan. It was kind of surprising when Byron Lawhon took the job at Johnson after giving up the dynasty here, as they convert both free throws.
They had some changes at the top in administration, and I think he decided it's best for him to move along.
So he is staying in the conference, but Gabe Johnson at the helm. He's up at the baseline on the far end. Jordan Wright with it, puts it on the floor. She'll kick it outside to Martin. Martin tries to go baseline. Now a bounce pass into Wright. 2-3 being looked like from Bryan as they force a shot miss there by Jordan Wright. And here comes Hennessy across midcourt with it. Looks to get a double high screen. She'll drive to the right elbow, kick it back up top to Kasner. Inside it comes to Farrell. Couple of post moves, and Martin gets the better of her here and blocks it out of bounds.
Much better defense that time.
So it'll be Lady Lions ball underneath. Just over a minute 10 played so far. Hennessy to inbound it. Big bounce pass into Farrell. Farrell, the freshman, starting with a couple of seniors out there. Hennessy left wing trying to take Mayo on. Now drives it into the paint, kicks it far side to Farrell, whose jumper at the shot clock misses, but Crowder chasing the long rebound. She'll clear it out to Jordan Wright, 8.5 to go. Wright sends it to her right, and Now Mayo flips it back up top to Stone. Stone will look back. Now far corner it goes to Martin. She takes a 3 off the back iron. Stone tips it away, but it goes right into the hands of Katie Farrell. And here comes Bryan once again. Still 2-0. Bryan in front. Make that 5-0 as Bryan hits a three-pointer.
Got to get to him. Got to get to him. Got to cause her to put it on the floor.
As Coach just mentioned a moment ago, they shoot the ball outside pretty good. Head tap here from Anna Crowder out front. Now trying to take on Kasner. Battle of the ones, and it looks like a foul is going to be called on Destiny. And so Lady Bulldogs have it underneath, or to the side over here. Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison here. This Appalachian Athletic Conference matchup. Lady Bulldogs offensively have Stone with the ball, trying to dribble through the double team. She just puts it right into the hands of Caitlin Hennessy. Hennessy now in the paint, looking for some help. Kicks it outside to Russell, and Russell's going to travel with it before she can advance the ball. 7:36, and it's a 5-0 game. Bryan in front. Both Wesleyan teams tonight will be trying to get back into the win column. Stone out front, right to Crowder. Now back to Stone it goes on the left wing. Drives hard inside against Tennessee. They work it back out front to Jordan Wright. Gets a screen from Martin. And Lady Bulldogs keeping it on the perimeter. Right, fakes the shot. Over to Martin. She's going to take another three opportunity, and this time she connects. Lady Bulldogs very patient offensively right there.
Which is not a bad thing. Slowing this thing down, keeping this score in the 60s where they need to be.
Lady Lions average 75.1, best in the conference. Lady Bulldogs 65.9, so that will be more in the wheelhouse of Tennessee Wesleyan as Farrell's got another bucket inside. And it's 7-3. Bryan in front. 4-point game. Stone, number 4 with it. Flips it to her left and Martin. Back to Stone it comes between the circles. Now Mayo with it. Stone, a little ball fake. Trying to go inside and she's going to travel.
Yep, shuffled her feet, trying to draw a little contact.
Tried to step into the body of Hennessy. Now
I'm not sure that's where she needs to venture tonight.
Definitely not. Ashley Baxter, 5'11" sophomore forward, will check in for the Lady Bulldogs along with number 2, Jacob Jimenez-Diaz. It'll be a full court press being shown by the Lady Bulldogs. Hennessy gets the inbounds, working it up as Cambry Mayo will shadow her up the floor. Hennessy's pass intercepted by Jimenez-Diaz. She's going to have a layup on the left side, and it's good.
Outstanding quickness for that young lady. Great athleticism.
She was just right there in the passing lane and took it right off the hands of Hennessy. Now Russell takes a deep three around the screen. She misses it. Here comes Jimenez-Diaz with the ball. Quickly pushing it. Her pass over to Crowder is intercepted here by Russell. Russell pushing it. Gives it up to Kasner. And just like that, Lady Lions have a full fast break point. 5:45 to play here. It's a 4-point game.
Unfortunately, turnovers lead to easy baskets on the other end.
Jimenez-Diaz on the right wing. Fakes around the screen, goes to the right side, and it's going to be a foul on the shot here by Farrell. And that's going to be her first, team second. J.C. Powell coming to the scorer's table for the Lady Bulldogs. She'll replace Jordan Wright. Crowd really filing in here. Again, the battle of Highway 30, Washington Ferry Bridge, whatever you want to call it, between these two ball clubs as Jimenez-Diaz does convert the first free throw.
Diaz gives you quickness inside, quickness off the dribble, and matches up size-wise with Bryan a little better than we have at other positions.
She cuts it to a 2-point game with both free throws going down for her. Hennessy up the far side of the floor, still working against Mayo, looking for some help as she picked up the dribble. She'll find Russell on the outside. Russell trying to take Crowder off the dribble. Now a three-pointer on the way by Molosky, missed it. And here is a clear out by Baxter to Mayo. Mayo's going to bring it across the time strike. Looks to her left, but she keeps it. Jimenez-Diaz on the right wing. Drops it over to J.C. Powell, number 10, who checked in. 15-footer from the elbow is good. We're knotted up at 9 apiece. A couple of reserves making a difference here for the Lady Bulldogs. Under 5 we go in the first quarter. Hennessy spins across the lane. Mayo got away with one there, picks up the rebound.
I think we got away with a foul there.
Mayo trying to take it all the way in. She'll draw the foul here against Molosky, and that's going to send her to the line for 2 free throws. Substitutions back out there. Jordan Wright back in for the Lady Bulldogs. She'll replace Mayo. Number 10, Tori Brooks will check in from Baxter, Tennessee for Bryan, along with, let's see.
Neva Majors.
Yep.
35.
35. Majors into the ballgame. Wright gets the inbounds. Baxter trying to set a screen for her. Gets crowded. Pass out to Baxter is tipped and intercepted here by Hennessy. Hennessy working it to the far side of the floor. Hands it off to Kasner. Three-pointer off the mark. Jimenez-Diaz able to clear it out. She's going to push the pace. Right wing to Powell, now up top to Wright. Powell's got it back. Jimenez-Diaz is going to pull it from the top of the key, and that one's going to be short all the way. Brooks pulls down the rebound.
A little too quick there in the shot clock. We need to make sure we're getting a shot we want out of the offense.
Yep. And kind of deep on the shot as well.
True. We're 2 or 3 feet behind the line.
Now Kasner gets stuck in the low block. Now she'll kick it out. Hennessy with it. Trying to get it to Majors. Deflected by Wright. Good hands defensively there. So it'll be Hennessy to inbound with 3:44, 8 on the shot clock. Hennessy still looking. Outlet comes into the front court there to Brooks. Shot clock to 4. Driving here is Russell. Off the glass, no good. Crowder able to get the rebound. Russell's couple of missed opportunities so far has helped the Lady Bulldogs. Powell with the ball out front. Jimenez Diaz now with it from the NAIA logo. Drops it over to Powell. Little shot fake. Finds Crowder at the top of the key. Back to Powell it comes. Hennessy closing out quickly on her. Now Wright's going to take the 3.
I started to say they're closing out really quick on JC. They know she's looking for that 3.
Now Powell gets the loose ball as Wesleyan was able to poke it away. And Jimenez Diaz and Powell were tied up together, and that's going to be a turnover as Jaka hit the deck with it.
Well, it looked odd, but she didn't really have control of it when she went to the floor. I'm not sure we actually had a walk there, but it did look odd. You're going to get that whistle.
So there's going to be a quick timeout here by Bryan. We'll be back. Score 9-all. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back here at James L. Robb Gymnasium. Lady Bulldogs just turning it over. Bryan took the timeout to try to regroup, but allows the Lady Bulldogs to set up their full court press here. Having trouble getting it in. Wright nearly picks it off over Hennessy and avoids any contact foul. Hennessy pushing the pace up the floor. Looking for help as she's picked up her dribble on the wing. Gets it out front to Russell. Lady Bulldogs have Ella Crowder, number 25 out there. Mayo, Stone, Wright, and Baxter. Three-pointer missed here by Russell. Crowder will clear it out to Jacelyn Stone. 2:42 to play, knotted up at 9 apiece.
Russell definitely their top scorer, better player. Looks like we got the Crowder girls going to take turns guarding her tonight.
Wright on the low block. They kick it out front to Stone. She gets it right back from Mayo. Mayo puts it on Stone puts it on the floor to her right. Now Baxter flips it over to Mayo. Shot clock at 5. Got to shoot somehow. Mayo throws one up as Farrell was there guarding her. Now quickly, this pass is going to, I think it deflected off the official on the baseline.
Fortunately, we got it because it was certainly headed for out of bounds before it hit him.
Now Mayo takes a 3, and the Lady Bulldogs have their first lead from the left side. 12-9 the score. Lady Bulldogs coming to play here. Battle back, down by as many as 5, up by 3 now. Coach is right. Russell has had the ball numerous times, scores 17.8 a game, and she is still looking for her first points here off the miss. 1:39 to play. Baxter on the right wing. Fakes the shot, keeps that pivot foot down, but then she throws it right into the hands of Brooks. She's trying to dish it off to the corner, and I think she startled herself by keeping that pivot foot down, but Lady Lions have it with under 1:20 to play.
He avoided the walk, but then threw it right to him.
Yep. Now Russell inside against Stone, and there's Russell's first points.
They switched on that. We got a mismatch down inside, and they just took Jason right down to the block.
1-point game. Now a big skip pass from Stone over to Baxter. Crowder cuts down the left side of the lane, spins across, throws up a prayer, and it falls into the hands of Hennessy. Under 60 seconds here in the first quarter. 12-11, Lady Bulldogs still with the advantage. Hennessy's drive puts the Lady Lions back in front, though, with 45 seconds to play. Here comes Wright, near side of the court. Works it to the middle of the floor. Mayo on the right wing. Back out front it comes to Jordan Wright. Very patient offensively. Stone walking it from the far corner back to the front. Working against Majors. Behind her back she goes, loses the handle and gets tripped up. Hennessy, a baseball pass up the court there to Brooks, and the lay-in is good for Tori Brooks. 15-12.
The point where we got the lead, I don't think we've gotten a good shot. We've gotten through a couple prayers, but we really haven't gotten a good shot since then out of the offense.
Baxter takes a three as the clock's winding down and missed it. And so at the end of the first quarter, Lady Lions battle back. They've got a 3-point lead after the Lady Bulldogs had grabbed a 3-point lead. It's 15-12. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here at James L. Robb, second quarter about to begin. Lady Bulldogs will put Martin Mayo, Anna Crowder, and Jordan Wright back out there along with Jimenez Diaz. Lady Lions will have Kasner, Majors, Molosky, Farrell, and Brooks out there as their five. It is Bryan Ball out of the quarter break. Drive inside by Farrell. She mishandles it. Here comes Anna Crowder up the floor trying to take on Molosky, and she's going to draw the second foul there against Alyssa. And that's going to be a shooting foul. And so Crowder at the line, 82% shooter on the season. It'll be 21. Kristen Fan checking in from Woodbury, Tennessee. Cannon County graduate. One of the seniors on this ball club for Bryan. 7 of them. Crowder makes the first free throw, 15-13 the score. And converts both. It's a 1-point game. 15 seconds in.
Coach Johnson inherited a veteran team. We'll see
did.
if over time he can replace some of these outstanding players.
These seniors have been a part of a pretty big run by the Bryan College Lady Lions. A couple of big national rankings and appearances in the tournament. Now Jordan Wright gets a good block inside. Kasner and Crowder battle for it. Crowder comes away with it up the floor to Jimenez Diaz. Layup on the left side is good, and the Lady Bulldogs back in front by 1, 16-15. Still under a minute gone here in the second quarter. Good hustle plays right there.
Yeah, Bryan sort of gave up on it, thought it was going out of bounds. We scooped it up.
Majors takes a three and just nearly airballs it. Nobody boxes out Farrell, though.
Nope, exactly correct. We failed to box out. She gets an easy putback.
That puts Bryan back in front by 1, 17-16. Top of the key, Martin gets it to Jimenez Diaz. Now sets a screen for her. Left side, steps through the defense. But then the floater in the lane, Karam's off to the left. Not a good look. Just couldn't knock it down. Here's Farrell in the lane. Throws the ball away on the offensive end. So Lady Bulldogs will take over, and Hennessy back into the ball game as she'll replace Major.
He didn't step out quick enough to help.
So 19-18. Back and forth we go with the lead between these two ball clubs. Jimenez Diaz, right wing, opposite side of the screen, but drops it back for Martin off the pick and pop. Three-pointer comes off long into the hands of Bryan Farrell. Had a good look, just couldn't knock it down.
A good look. We did get a good shot out of the offense. That's what you're looking for.
Hennessy a drive and dish to the outside. Kasner knocks down a big three from the far wing. There's a little bit of separation by 4 points. First time we've had that since about midway through the first quarter. Right between the circles. Feeds it into the low block to Crowder, who's blocked there by Farrell. And Farrell's going to get called for that one. That's going to be her second.
That looked pretty clean.
I do not disagree with that at all, as Russell's going to come back in for Farrell, who's got 2 fouls. Coach Johnson pleading the case, but nonetheless, Coach Rice, he'll take that any way he can get it. Anna Crowder steps back to the line.
I don't think Coach Johnson was satisfied with the explanation he got.
Crowder misses the first free throw, though. 22-18, 7-11 to play here in the second quarter. Second free throw is good for Anna Crowder. 3-point game, most importantly, a 1-possession game. Brooks with it on the perimeter. Skips it back out to Fan. Now they get it to Hennessy. Hennessy will drop it here to Brooks. Now Russell on the left wing. Gets around the screen from Brooks, but Wright, good switch off, picks her up. Left, now it's Kasner. Now they're going to get 3 seconds on Hennessy. Good call there inside.
We've had several of those I thought could have been called. I was glad to finally get one.
Lady Bulldogs did a better job switching right there defensively on the pick and rolls. Here is Jimenez Diaz running it. Thing with this guard-heavy lineup for the Lady Bulldogs, you got several different players that'll bring the ball up the floor for Coach Rice. Mayo on the right wing gets a nice feed into the lane to Wright. She gets the touch off the home rim.
Really nice fake and back screen there, or back cut there. Left Jordan open.
Pulls them to within 1. Hennessy will hand it off here to Fain. Now Jimenez Diaz gets her hand in the lane, but then they're going to get a foul. Let's see. It's going to be on Wesleyan. It's going to be on Jimenez Diaz. Going for the loose ball, so they pushed her. Said she got the push. Now Stone back in for her.
A little unfortunate. Looked like she was going to come away with a steal and end up with a foul.
She's very quick. I mean, you referenced it already. Very quick. And defensively, she gets her hand in a lot of passing lanes. Now Fain comes from the near corner to the high post. Stone about had her tied up. Brooks has Wright guard her pretty quickly. Now Hennessy, a long 2 off the mark. Offensive rebound, though, for Bryan. Here's Brooks left open on the left wing on the kick out. Coach talked about it in the pregame. If you leave them open.
Well, once again, we don't box out. They get the rebound, get a little penetration, and kick to a wide open shooter, and she knocks it down.
So it's a 4-point game, 25-21. Martin gets it, overplayed there by Russell. Stuck on the baseline. Sends it outside to Mayo on the bounce. Wright with it out front. Shot clock now under 10. Wright trying to take it on big time to Kasner. Missed the shot, chases her on board.
Did not hit rim, though.
Didn't hit rim. Now Mayo's going to have to try to shoot it. Wright's, and thought both of them saw the clock as they looked up, but neither one of them noticed it enough. Majors returns.
I think Cambry did, but she couldn't get it off, so she kicked it back to Jordan, but I don't think Jordan realized that the shot clock was winding down.
So Wright will take a breather. Baxter into the game for Martin. It was Powell back in for Jordan Wright. Now Majors gets the inbound as she's checked back in for Bryan. Majors, a little shovel pass, underhanded to Kasner, who missed the 3. This one's going to go out of bounds off of Russell's rebound attempt. It will be 5 minutes to play here in the half, 25-21, Bryan in front. Crowder, big crossover, gets free, finds Stone on the short baseline jumper, rolls off the backside. Crowder and Powell, I think, collided, teammates colliding there. Crowder slow to get up. She's to her feet now. Bryan with the one-person advantage. Near corner, Brooks, three-pointer, comes off the backside. Baxter tips up the rebound, it's loose. Majors is going to foul. Right there, as they say, she pushed Crowder down. And Wesleyan will regain possession here as Ella Crowder will come in for her sister Anna.
Anna took 2 blows in that one possession.
She did. She's been hit hard twice. She explaining to Coach Ross, I think, on how she hit the deck both times, but she'll get a breather. 4.5 to play. Lady Bulldogs trying to cut it to a one-possession game. And Stone gets bodied up here by Brooks. That's going to be the first on Brooks, 4th on Bryan. Wesleyan can draw one more. They'll have 2 free throws for the rest of the quarter.
It'd be nice to score a few from the line.
Stone gets the inbounds in the backcourt. Skip pass over to Powell. Closing out on her was Russell very quickly. Bounces it over to Mayo. Mayo goes baseline, back to Baxter. She's open for the three. Comes off to the left, and pulling away the rebound is Russell. Here comes Majors quickly on the outlet, up to Kasner. Baxter tries to step out, but not quick enough. With a hand in the face as Kasner knocks it down. It's a 6-point advantage, the largest lead of the game for either team. Here's Mayo in transition. Layup on the right side. Tossed it up and comes off the front. Here's Hennessy. Out to Russell. Three-pointer on the way for Russell. Karam's off to the left in the hands of Stone. That was a good box out for Stone against Majors. Behind the back dribble. Over to Mayo it goes. Baxter, they're going to leave her open. She's going to shoot it. That one goes in and out. And Powell just rips it from the arms of Russell after the jump ball is called. It'll go to Tennessee Wesleyan. Stay on this end of the floor. Jordan Wright back in for Cambry Mayo. And Jimenez Diaz back in for Ella Crowder. Wright gets a screen from Baxter, goes opposite side of it. Layup no good, gets partially blocked, gets her own board. Kick out to Jimenez Diaz, extra pass to Powell at the wing. Powell knew she missed it, but able to chase it down off the hands of Brooks. Fresh 20 for the Lady Bulldogs. Wright out front. Baxter far corner. Jimenez Diaz open on the left wing, gets it. Trying to take Kasner on, gets to the rim, and gets the layup.
Thought she got herself too far under, but was able to get it down.
I agree 100%. Thought she was going to have to try the reverse before she got that one off, but she uses the English and makes it 27-23 the score, 2:47 to play. First half action. Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison from James L. Robb Gymnasium. Hennessy working against Wright. Throws it away again. We've seen Wesleyan's defense pressure him a couple of times like that. Fan will return in place of Brooks. Martin back in for Baxter, it looks like, for Tennessee Wesleyan. So it'll be Stone to bring the ball up the floor, along with Jimenez Diaz. 2:35. 4-point game. Stone will bounce it over to Wright. She's about 2 feet from her when she did it. Back to Martin it goes. She's going to pull the triple. This one comes off the front of the rim. Martin gets her own rebound. Got tripped partially, and this one's going to go out of bounds, though, off of Martin's own feet. Could never get settled after getting the rebound. Somebody's got to get back as Majors is going to push it. Powell able to get back and guard Fain. Now Stone blocks it out of bounds.
Thought we might have knocked that off her leg, but apparently not.
Stone with such quick hands inside another one. Another great guard that's got quick hands can strip shooters away on their way up. Kasner with it, working against Martin. Trying to take her off the dribble to the right. Over to Fan. Fan's layup comes in and out of the rim into the hands of Powell. Under 2 we go. Stone right wing. She can try to take Majors all the way off the dribble. Goes baseline and then throws it off of, I'm going to say it went off of Bryan's foot, one of them's foot.
I think it went off Martin's foot, but we'll take it.
That's the same thing I saw as well. Screen from Martin to right. Jimenez Diaz, 15 on the shot clock. Jimenez Diaz, left side on the layup. Doesn't get this one to fall. Powell trying to tie him back up. Instead, she's going to get called for the foul. Powell being very quick with the hands, trying to get to him when they get a rebound, surprise them. Crowder will sub in for Stone. Not the usual substitution there, so they'll have to move some players around in the press. Jimenez Diaz comes up front in the press, guarding Majors. Bryan having trouble getting it in. Kasner comes from the backcourt to get it. Now here's Russell bringing it up the floor with 90 seconds to play. 27-23, Bryan in front. Majors with the ball. Fan on the left side skips it over to the high post to Kasner, gets it back to Hennessy. Hennessy and Wright against each other. This goes back to the prep school days, as Wright's going to get charged with a foul here on the shot by Hennessy. Little rivalry there from McMinn Central and McMinn County High School days. Team third. Hennessy's first free throw is good. 28-23. And the second one is good. 6-point game. Lady Lions in front. Lady Bulldogs have had a couple of leads, 4 of them to be exact. Right on the right side of the glass, missed it. Martin gets the rebound, put back blocked by Hennessy out of bounds. 57.9 to play. Now it looks like some moisture on the floor. They're going to try to clean that up a little bit. It'll be Wright to key it in underneath. Now J.C. Powell goes and gets the broom.
Looks like.
Yep. Gets the mop to clean up the moisture there. Instead of trying to use the sneakers and take more time, just use the tools provided on the baseline. 57.9. Again, the number 2 team in the AAC, Bryan Lady Lions, are preseason 1. Lady Bulldogs currently set in the tie for 5th. They're trying to get back in the win column here on their home floor, a place that has been very kind to them. Inbounds comes to Jimenez Diaz. Gets free from Majors. Now floater on the right side of the lane. She got drilled on the rebound and the shot. And it's going to be possession arrow, jump ball goes to Bryan as Coach Rice pleads the case with the officials. Jacob took a lot of bumping there. 45 seconds remain in the half.
It's a whole lot of contact not to get any kind of call.
Kasner with it out front, gets it to Fan. Now Fan kind of calling off Russell, gets it to Majors. Majors skips near corner. It comes to Kasner, back out front to Hennessy. 8 to shoot for Bryan. Hennessy with the ball, switch off by Crowder with Wright. Wright and her double are up, ball's loose. Here comes Jimenez Diaz with the ball. Pulls up momentarily, then takes it to the right side, and layup over Russell is no good.
I wish they would have pulled that one out.
So
get the last one.
10 seconds left. Jimenez Diaz steps in the passing lane. They've got 4 to play. Here's Jimenez Diaz, heaves it at the buzzer. It comes off the left side of the glass. Looked good, but just a little off. And so at the end of the first half, it's the Lady Lions in front, 29-23. Lady Bulldogs had picked up the lead twice at 1 point apiece there in the second quarter, early part, but they have not been able to get back into it, down by 6, which ties the largest lead of the game for the second time. So we will take a 2-minute break here at the half. 2-minute break, and then we'll be back with some first half stats and an interview here at halftime. Back in 2 minutes. Back here from James L. Robb Gymnasium as we are at halftime 29-23. Lady Lions in front by that 6-point margin. Lady Bulldogs did have a 3-point lead with 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and then got that cut down to 1, but then Bryan regained it by 3, 15-12 at the end of the first quarter. The Lady Bulldogs got it back to a 1-point lead at 9:15 and about 8:10 left as well, but just could not get anything else accomplished offensively, and Bryan started to knock down a couple of shots, and so the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs trying to get back into the win column here against Bryan, and Bryan just doing an outstanding job of shooting the ball currently, as they are shooting 40.7% on the other side. The Lady Bulldogs 25%. That has been the struggle for them and what they have been doing offensively. But they still have 2 more quarters to come back from. The Lady Bulldogs will have an opportunity to kind of end this 9-game slide that they have had. A lot of your former players here, Coach, is Lynn Monroe, Vicki Hale. There are a lot of former players here. Lynn Monroe already texted me. I get her at halftime for the guys from McMinn County games, and she asked if she needed a halftime interview. So she threw out the plug that she played for you. So she was trying to get in on that one, but nonetheless, a lot of local people.
It's been too long. You can't use me for an in anymore.
Nonetheless, there's a lot of people community-wise that are here to watch this matchup, and a lot of local talent here at McMinn County High School, or at Tennessee Wesleyan. A lot of local talent that was at McMinn County High School and a couple of other places. But we are pleased now to be joined. Always good to try to catch up with some Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs, and we have gotten one of them to join us here, maybe reluctantly, but we will see, as Zaylin Callahan joins us. And Zayla, let's talk a little bit about how you found your way from Powder Springs, Georgia to Tennessee Wesleyan. Let's start with that one right there.
Just coach saw me at a basketball camp, made my way down here, and ever since I stepped on campus, I liked it.
Was there any other places you were kind of looking at, or was kind of Tennessee Wesleyan there from the get-go?
Really, Tennessee Wesleyan from the get-go. Had some few around town, but...
for you, coming from the high school level as a freshman here, getting a lot of playing time, you are first in the nation in assist to turnover ratio. That dropped from 5 to 3 over the weekend, but nonetheless, that's, essentially that means you share the ball very well and do not turn the ball over. So how has the adjustment from high school basketball been for you coming to the collegiate level?
It's definitely a difference, but I try to take my time out there and learn as much from the other guards as I can as possible.
Tough one on the road on Saturday against Reinhardt. Are you quickly learning that the pace may be a little bit quicker here in the collegiate level compared to maybe the high school level was for you?
Yes, sir, very. It's getting easier to adjust to, but it's definitely a difference. And, with more time and more experience, I feel better and comfortable.
As far as your game, what do you feel like you bring to this team outside of the ability to protect the basketball and share the basketball? What is some keys that you feel you bring to this team?
I try to bring the lift off the bench, and as a freshman, try to play in my role, but also learn and grow to make the team better.
So you've got Bryan. You've already played them once this season. You beat them really on a last-second shot. Well, not really a buzzer beater, but not enough time for them to get a shot off. But talk to us about what you expect against this Bryan team here tonight.
Bryan's the cross-town rival, so we know they're going to bring their best competition, but I feel like if we do what we have to do, we'll come out with the win.
I know it's tough. You're not at full strength right now. You may be going into this game, but I know Jonathan Webb, Cam Montgomery have been 2 keys out. How have you all tried to kind of weather that storm as a team and make sure the chemistry is still there?
In practice, we just focus in on who we have at the moment, and we know we'll get our players back, but I feel like our group, the thing with this team is you can bring anybody off the bench and we'll perform.
So you're a student athlete, of course. You're just a freshman listed. Have you got the major worked out? What is it? How are classes going for you?
Classes are smooth right now. I like sports management. That's my major right now.
So in with sports management so far. So taking a lot of, I guess, the required classes, your freshman kind of status classes. So
Yes,
seems to be a smooth transition for you right there. So as far as academic-wise, has there been much of an adjustment for you coming to the college level?
Not too many crazy. My mom and my dad be on me about grades, so I think I did good.
Hey, mom and dad, they don't care how many points you put up as long as you put up the grades too, get through school with that degree. So with that sports management, long way off, but 4 years will fly by. What does the future look like for you? What do you want to use with that degree?
I just definitely want to be involved with sports or like around the team franchise as of right now.
There's plenty of opportunities, a lot of student athletes going into that, trying to stay around the game. Is any ideas of coaching or anything like that in the future maybe?
Not yet, but I mean, I could see myself doing it.
There's a lot of them that talk about it, as we see several sitting here. Lynn Monroe, she coaches at the high school level for McMinn County. Bob Williams over there, he's coached McMinn County, Walker Valley. He's down in the North Georgia area now, so a lot of former Bulldogs hitting the coaching ranks. Well, Zaylin, we appreciate you joining us here today, and great to have you here, and hopefully you keep that assist-turnover ratio climbing a little bit and stay in that first spot in that one. So
yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Good luck against Bryan.
It's a win.
So Zaylin Callahan from Powder Springs, Georgia, 6'1" freshman, and usually you don't know if the freshmen have their majors worked out, but it sounds like he's got his, or at least he's taken the sports management route for himself here as he gets ready to face off against Bryan College here tonight in a good rivalry game, as Lynn Monroe's coming up to talk to Coach Harrison and catch up a little bit. I have to give her a hard time anywhere I go, but Lady Bulldogs trail by 6, 29-23 here. Let's take another 60-second break, and then we'll bring some first-half stats with you here from James Elrod. Back in 60 seconds.
Did you know that All Things Exterior has the largest selection of vinyl siding and metal roofing in this area? Hi, I'm Buffy Jones, inviting you to stop by and see how we can help with the construction or home improvement project. Our prices are
back here at James Elrod Gymnasium on the campus of Tennessee Wesleyan University. Great crowd. It's really the first game back after the Christmas holiday for the student section, so they have got it packed out over there. And again, a lot of local people here, a lot of Bryan fans making the trip over from Dayton as well. But when you have a couple of Lady Cherokees, Chargerettes, and a couple of Lady Tigers from Meigs County, it's easy to get a lot of local fans cheering both ball teams on in this one. So quite the crowd here from James Elrod. Again, we'll have the guys game coming up next. That one, the men for Tennessee Wesleyan, as we just talked to Zaylin Callahan, trying to get back into the win column. They had won 4 in a row, but then dropped, or had won 2 in a row, but then dropped a tough one at Reinhardt on Saturday, 86-63. That was the second place team in Tennessee Wesleyan against the preseason number 2 in Reinhardt. And Reinhardt just shot the ball very well. Wesleyan, again, just struggled to get shots up. At one point was shooting 50%, but Reinhardt was in the 77% category and just kept pouring it on. And the Bulldogs just could not overcome some foul calls and getting through a lot of contact playing as well. So they will have an opportunity to get the regular season sweep against Bryan here this evening, coming up after this one. Both ladies' teams are back on the floor to warm up. And in this one, we've only had 4 one-possession games in the last 38 matchups, and it's even at 2-2. The last time we had that, though, was all the way back in November of 2016, which Wesleyan won by 3. So you got to go back a long time, and that was over on the road at Bryan. So it has been quite some time since either team has played close in this Bryan and Tennessee Wesleyan women's matchup. But we have had it to within one a couple of times here this evening. But again, most of them have been lopsided in this one. And Coach, both teams kind of back out of the locker room getting some shots up early. What adjustments do you think Lady Bulldogs need to make, or are there that many that they really do need to make?
Well, first of all, we got the score where we need it as far as Bryan's concerned. We keep them in the 20s, and should be able to give ourselves a chance to win, but we've got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball and getting good shots out of the offense. When we offensed the basketball and got good shots, then we shot a pretty high percentage. But I thought we forced a number of shots that oftentimes led to easier looks for them on the other end. So the more efficient we are on offense, the better opportunity it gives us on the defensive end.
Outside of the three-pointers that Bryan was able to make, Wesleyan has really defended that a little bit better. There has been a couple of open shots they've left, but Wesleyan's also had open three-point looks as well they've not been able to knock down.
Neither team have shot it particularly well. What you hope is that Bryan doesn't warm up, because they, as you said, they had several open looks that just didn't go. Russell didn't have her best half of play, so we hope that she'll stay cold for another half. I've been impressed with Bryan's team defense. I think they do an exceptional job of cutting the ball off to the goal, of switching, of closing out on shooters, boxing out. Their team defense, I think, is as good as I've seen here in a while.
And you referenced it in the pregame part. They've got a little bit more size. We've seen them block a couple of shots from behind. Also body up Wesleyan's players offensively and on some rebounds that haven't gone by way of the whistle for Tennessee Wesleyan, but they do seem to be playing sound defense offensively, or defense together.
Oftentimes that size differential will work in Wesleyan's favor because it gives us some quickness, but in this case it's not. Bryan's long, but they are athletic. They do run well. They move well laterally on defense, so that makes for tough matchups for us.
So we get set for the start of the second half as the final few seconds are ticking away, and the teams are already huddled back up. They're ready to go. We'll be ready to go. Looking at the individual scoring for you, Jacob Jimenez-Diaz leads the Lady Bulldogs with 8 points, 4 rebounds to her credit as well. 4 points by Jordan Wright, 3 for Crowder, Martin, Mayo, 2 for Powell. On the other side, for Bryan, it is Destiny Kasner with 9 points to lead all scores for them, 4 rebounds as well, 5 points by Tori Brooks, and then 4 points for Hennessy, Farrell, and Russell, 3 points by Mulaski. And as Coach alluded to, when you've got someone like Russell with 17.8 per game, you've got to know where she's at here in the second half. Don't let her get going. And she will be out there with Kasner, Farrell, Hennessy, and Mulaski, the starting 5 from the first half.
She's 2 for 8 from the field and 0 for 4 from 3. So, unfortunately, I can't expect that to happen again, but we'd certainly take it if it did.
That is exactly right. As out of the halftime break, it'll be Tennessee Wesleyan's ball for the third quarter. And it will send Cambry Mayo to the line, 73% shooter on the season.
Sound as much like parent as fan.
I would agree there. 29-24. And Mayo converts both of them. So back to a 4-point game. And Hennessy's going to travel again. That's 2 backcourt violation turnovers there for Hennessy.
2 times we've put a little pressure on her and she sort of shuffled her feet before she gets it on the floor.
So here's Wesleyan with it. Right on the left wing, gets a screen from Martin to her right. Crossover gets free if she hadn't picked up a dribble, but she'll drop it back to Martin, who drills a 3. And they'll trade that one off for any drive that Jordan Wright was about to have. It's a 29-28 game. Lady Bulldogs battling back here as we are now a minute played here in the third quarter, and they've already put up 5 points and forced a couple of turnovers. Hennessy with it on the right wing. Now a skip pass out to Russell. It goes. Crowder guarding her. Kasner sets her a screen. And Russell's three-pointer, no good from the left wing, and Jimenez-Diaz loses it. Now they're going to get a jump ball. This one will stay with Bryan as Jordan Wright got down on the floor with Hennessy and tied her up.
Got to be stronger with the basketball.
Sailed off the fingertips there from Jimenez-Diaz on the rebound. So Bryan with another opportunity. Inbounds comes to Mulaski on the far corner. Airballs the three, but it's going to go off of Cambry Mayo's arm. Cambry never saw that ball coming. It was missed completely. So Hennessy now going to inbound it in front of her own bench. Gets it out to Russell out front. Russell looking, kind of had a little bit of confusion on her face maybe. Hennessy's going to take a deep three. And airballs that one. Kasner jumps to save it, but steps on the end line. Student section on the far side letting her know that she airballed that one, but I think a couple of fans were left out to dry with the other ones not participating. Wright bringing it up the floor. Lady Bulldogs can regain the lead here. Jimenez-Diaz pulls the three. Short off the front of the rim, and Farrell pulls in the rebound. Quick shot there for the Lady Bulldogs.
Only a good shot if it went.
Now Hennessy stopped inside. Jimenez-Diaz intercepts the pass, trying to go all the way in against Russell. Trying to draw the foul and didn't get it, and this jump ball will give it to Tennessee Wesleyan. So it'll stay here offensively. It'll be Jimenez-Diaz underneath to inbound it. Got to get it in somewhere. Finds Wright in the near corner. To her. Wright trying to get to the low block. Kick out to Martin on the right wing. Here comes Crowder off the dribble. Skip into the corner to Jimenez-Diaz. Out to Mayo. Mayo trying to get past Mulaski. Now circles all the way around, and Mulaski chased her, but ends up fouling her and picks up her third. Team's second of the quarter. Major's going to come back in soon for her, and that is the substitution. So it'll be Cambry Mayo. Did a good job from taking it from one side of the floor, circling it all the way to the other side of the paint. Jimenez-Diaz pulls up from about 15 feet and knocks it down. Gives Lady Bulldogs a 1-point lead as Hennessy quickly comes up the floor racing. Drops it outside to Farrell, working against Martin. Loses it on the way, but I've got to say that one went out of bounds off of Martin.
Martin got a piece of that one, I think.
Or Jordan Wright. Good call. So it'll be Hennessy inbounding underneath. Gets it into Kasner off the bounce. Kasner pulls up in the lane and blocked by Jordan Wright, but so she got her with the body, and Greg Guerin going to make that call. Picks up the second on Jordan Wright. Team first, and so that's going to send Kasner to the line. Kasner makes the first one, knocks it up at 30 apiece. Second time we have been tied in this matchup. And just like that, Bryan back in front by 1, 31-30. 7:20 to play here in the third quarter. WJSQ, WLAR, Athens, Tennessee. Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison is Tennessee Wesleyan has a ball sailed through the hands of Jimenez-Diaz, and Stone will replace her off the turnover.
One of those deals where you just didn't look it all the way into her hands, looking to make a move before she got control of the ball.
Far side of the floor, now Bryan lobs it into Farrell on the baseline. It goes out of bounds off of Stone, they'll say. So it'll be Hennessy once again to key it in underneath. Bounce into Kasner once again. Finds Hennessy back in the far corner. Shot clock to 15. Major's right wing sends it into the right corner to Russell, trying to take Crowder off the dribble. Now here's Kasner from the top of the key. Passes it over to Farrell. Long two for her is no good, and Stone's going to collect it in the corner and try to push the pace. She is the last person across half court, but comes up racing. Wright steps into a three. Off to the left side of the rim, and Anna Crowder couldn't corral the rebound before Hennessy picks it up.
Way too quick. At least at your feet.
Wright was kind of leaning into that three-pointer. Now Hennessy walks through the lane, but Ball gets loose, and Stone went diving for it. Hennessy on the far side of the floor off the pass from Majors. 6:12 to play and 31-30 the score with Bryan in front. Majors drives from the right wing, drops it back out to Kasner at the top. Kasner's three, no good. Ball is rebounded. Well, it's going to go off of Bryan's back. Nobody could get a hand on it, and Majors has it roll off of her back. So J.C. Powell will return, sophomore from Decatur. And she'll replace Jordan Wright. So Stone walking it up the floor. Wesleyan trying to get an off-ball screen for Powell. They do, but Kasner closed out pretty quickly. Kasner again helping out on Martin. Wesleyan trying to set some screens away. Now Mayo. Well, Stone's going to get called for the offensive foul on the pick. Moving screen, team second. That's the first on Jacelyn.
She may have done it, but it's pretty late.
Yeah.
We're 2 or 3 dribbles off that screen by the time he blew the whistle.
Majors gets it over to Hennessy. Hennessy picks up the dribble at the top of the key and flips it out to Kasner. 5:26 to play, still a 1-point advantage for Bryan. Kasner drives, and that's going to be a charge against Kasner. As it is Camry Mayo putting her body on the line. Picks up the second on Kasner, third on Lady Lions. That one might have been close to being in the restricted arc.
I thought we were, but
no
okay.
argument from the Bryan faithful on that call. Bryan matched up defensively. Crowder rushes the three-point attempt here, and a couple of rush shots so far on offense for the Lady Bulldogs after starting the third quarter pretty hot.
I'm not sure what we're trying to get there. Obviously, like to make that shot, but they've got to take a good shot.
Now Crowder and Hennessy get tied up, and Crowder's going to pick up a foul there. Turn my own microphone off for a second. That's going to be the third. So both teams at 3 fouls apiece, and her and Hennessy just got tied up on that far side.
Just unfortunate foul.
Yep. Hennessy quickly up the floor. Mayo trying to guard her, and Mayo had her wrapped up, but she travels with it. That's a third travel in the quarter for Caitlin Hennessy. So it'll be Wesleyan ball with under 5 to play. Again, another opportunity to take this lead back. As Wright and Baxter are coming to the scorer's table. Powell left wing, quick crossover, loses the handle, gets it to Anna Crowder. Bounce pass out to Stone. She'll take the three from the far corner. No good, but she gets fouled on the shot, so she'll have 3 free throws coming her way on the floor.
I believe he's calling it after the shot.
Okay,
on the
so
side.
Hennessy's going to pick up the foul, so no shooting foul. That's her first, team fourth. Baxter, Wright returned for Mayo and Martin. Good eyes on that one, Coach, as they call it on the floor.
Usually, though, if they get you on the block out as the shooter's coming down, they're going to call it on the shot, but in that case, they did not.
Stone drops it off to Jordan Wright, who hands it off to Crowder. Crowder trying to get in against Kasner. They keep it on the outside. Skip pass into the near corner. Powell for a long two, drills it. J.C. Powell with a tough shot in basketball on the baseline, puts Lady Bulldogs up by 1. Here comes Hennessy trying to drive, drops it back to Kasner. Now goes baseline against Jordan Wright. Couple of spin moves. Bounce pass into Farrell. Farrell goes up strong against Baxter and makes it up under the arms of Baxter. 32-33 the score. Under 4 to play here in the third quarter. Out front's Jordan Wright. Crowder skip pass over to Baxter. Baxter trying to take Farrell. Now gets it to Powell, and Crowder gets ran into by Kasner. They're trying to cut off those little handoffs by Tennessee Wesleyan. Wright against Hennessy goes up strong, but comes off the front of the glass. And Hennessy and Wright battling. Hennessy shovels it over to Brooks. Brooks is 3, no good. Stone's going to pick up the rebound. Lady Bulldogs 2-on-2 break. Stone's going to try to take Majors on by herself. Gets to the left side, gets the bucket and the foul. Enough hesitation right there. Got Jacelyn Stone a decent look as Majors is going to pick up her second foul. And the 5th team foul, so the Lady Bulldogs will be in the double bonus for the next 3-13.
Majors a little unhappy with the call and flipped the ball back against the wall. I don't believe any of the officials saw it, or else they thought that was okay.
Normally that would institute another whistle, but Lady Bulldogs now with a 2-point lead off of the and one make by Jacelyn Stone. Hennessy has it, and Bryan wants to talk it over as they have seen Wesleyan battle back and take a 2-point lead, 35-33 with 3:02 in the third left. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back out of the timeout by Bryan. It's Farrell driving the baseline. She dishes it off to Kasner, and Kasner is going to get fouled here by Tennessee Wesleyan's Jimenez Diaz. Yep, that's going to be Jaka's second foul. Team fourth. It'll be a 2-shot foul nonetheless for Kasner. Kasner 2 for 2 at the line, make that 3 for 3.
We were in pretty good defensive position, but she just wasn't ready for the pass. More alert, we might have had the ball there. Instead, we ended up with a foul.
So now it's knotted up at 35 all. It'll be Wright with possession of it. Gives it up to Stone. Stone, a couple of behind-the-back dribbles here. Gets it out to Powell for a 3. No good. Jimenez Diaz battling Kasner for the rebound. Kasner wins that one, though. And here comes Majors up the floor. Majors playing a lot of minutes with the foul trouble by Mulaski. Kasner gets a screen from Hennessy and has a 3, but this one no good. Stone boxes out Majors and draws the foul here over the back on Majors. That's going to be her third.
We'll go to the line.
Yep, and that's the team 5th, so it will send Jacelyn Stone to the line. That's huge dynamic of the women's game now, along with the 4 10-minute quarters, but getting the 5th team foul in a quarter will send you to the line for 2 instead of a 1-and-1 opportunity. So Stone at the line. First one is nothing but nylon there for her first free throw of the game. Puts Wesleyan in front by 1 once again. 2:19 to play. Both of them converted. That's what you expect out of your point guard. 37-35, 2:17 to play. Russell drops it off to Hennessy. Hennessy heave into the paint to Kasner from the backcourt. Now drops it off to Russell. Russell's reverse layup knocks us up at 37. Didn't cut off the baseline on that one. So Wesleyan, though, still an opportunity to maintain. Jimenez Diaz over to Stone. Stone comes off a screen from Baxter. Lob out to Powell. Now far side it goes to Jimenez Diaz. Double high screen. Stone going for a 3. And it'll bounce up and over the rim.
Good patience, got a good shot, just didn't go.
So here comes Hennessy with 90 seconds to play in the third quarter. Deep three-pointer by Brooks, no good. And so here comes Jimenez Diaz. She's not going to slow down. Instead, she passes it off to Baxter. Quickly over to right it comes. flip out to Jimenez Diaz. Couple of quick passes around the horn. Stone guarded by Hennessy. 12 on the shot clock. Jimenez Diaz trying to take Russell on. Drops it out for Powell. Long two for Powell. Comes off the back side of the glass into the hands of Caitlin Hennessy. Russell, little hesitation dribble.
Nice crossover.
Free, and she's going to get 2 shots here. 54.5 remaining. That one's going to be on Jordan Wright, her third. So a bit of foul trouble there for the Lady Bulldogs as Mayo will return for Jordan Wright.
From that position, you got to push her baseline, then cut it off. We sort of overplayed the right hand, and she made a nice crossover, got to the goal.
So Russell makes it here on the first free throw to break the tie. 38-37 now. She just kind of had Jordan out there on isolation on the wing and got to the middle, but it's going to be Anna Crowder returning. Stone out of the ball game. So Powell, Baxter, Crowder, Mayo, and Jimenez Diaz, the 5 for the Lady Bulldogs. 51 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Wesleyan will have to take a shot. Jimenez Diaz gets it and loses the handle momentarily. Able to pass it off to Mayo, though. Mayo gets free from Hennessy. Layup on the right side comes off short. Powell trying to get at the jump ball again. And here comes Bryan with Farrell driving. They quickly work it to Russell on the left wing. Short. Oh, airballs it off to the right, actually, from that angle. So 23 seconds to play in the quarter.
Last one.
Crowder, a little no-look bounce out to Baxter. Back inside it goes to Crowder. Finds Jimenez Diaz with 14 on the clock. Three-pointer off the mark. Jump ball. Will keep it with Bryan. So 10 seconds even on the clock. Definitely thought that would be the plan for Wesleyan there. Coach, as you called it, take the last shot, but got a good look, just couldn't knock it down. Baxter will exit. Kaylee Martin into the game. Hennessy up the floor with it. Jimenez Diaz trying to pick her up. Hennessy gets to the right side of the glass, goes in and falls out to the right. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Lady Bulldogs battle back, take the lead a couple of times, maintain it for a few minutes, but the Lady Lions come away with a 2-point lead at the end of the third quarter, 39-37. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here for Tennessee Wesleyan and Bryan and Appalachian Athletic Conference play. 10 more minutes to decide this one. And it is a very close game. It's gone back and forth the entire game. 39-37, it's Bryan's lead going into the final frame. It's Tennessee Wesleyan's ball on the quarter change.
A really good quarter defensively. We need to have another one just like it.
Won that one 14-10 against Bryan, so definitely the first quarter that the Lady Bulldogs have won this evening. Here comes Wright off a screen from Martin. Martin pops behind it and was left open momentarily. Nice feed to Jimenez Diaz, but Martin got blocked inside by Hennessy. Got the ball stuck low and couldn't get the shot up quick enough. Now Brooks in transition, three-pointer in and out, tipped out by a couple of players, and Anna Crowder able to pick it up loosely. Crowder into the low block, out to Jordan Wright. Jimenez Diaz out front with it. Kasner at 5'11", she's created some problems. She about stole that one on the outlet from Crowder. Now Crowder goes left side of the lane, just too strong. Mayo collides with Farrell, but no whistle, and Hennessy with the ball. A minute played here in the fourth quarter.
It's been a bit of a pattern, unfortunately. We're getting it to the goal. We just can't seem to finish it.
Little pump fake by Brooks, blocked by Jimenez-Diaz, but Farrell picks up the loose ball. Kasner in the lane, spin move, gets her free, and it's a 4-point lead.
She's a nice player. She does a lot of good things. Can shoot it from the outside, take you off the dribble, can post you up. As you said, got good size.
Yep, gets her hand in the passing lane quite a bit. Jimenez-Diaz with her team down 4, working out the front. Wesleyan has majority of their players always on the outside. Now Wright's three-pointer blocked by Hennessy. Here comes Kasner with it, up the floor. Nobody's going to pick up ball. They finally do. Three-pointer by Russell. Doesn't get the bounce. Kasner with the offensive backboard, and Martin brought the hand down momentarily. Looked like she was still going to be just straight up, but she's going to pick up the first foul of the quarter for Wesleyan. Martin's going to pick up her second. Lasky back into the ball game. She'll replace Brooks. So 41-37 in this AAC matchup. Kasner at the line. Makes the first one. She continues her scoring lead. She's perfect 5 of 5 at the line. 6 of 6 now.
Not the start we wanted to the fourth quarter. We need to answer here.
Definitely not. It's a 2-possession game still, though. 6-point lead for Bryan as they get it back to that halftime lead. Mayo out front gets it over to Crowder. Now out front it comes to Jimenez-Diaz. Mayo far corner thought about the three. She'll try to get past Mulaski. Skip pass out to right. Good ball fake. Now Mayo, long two from the far corner, in and out off the front of the rim. Farrell gets the rebound and clears it out to Hennessy. Hennessy quickly up to Russell. Russell has it poked away by Crowder. Able to recover it as Farrell, though. Shot clock under 20. Mulaski off the dribble. Sends it to the near side into the hands of Russell. Spin move against Crowder.
Good defense there. Really good defense.
They about throw it away. That's 2 times Wesleyan thought they were going to catch a break. Now Hennessy pulls up. It does hit the rim as the shot clock was under 3.
The bench starts yelling a little early. Still had 5 seconds, and she jacked from about 25 feet.
She was near the volleyball lines. As Coach Jeff Rice says, I think he's seen enough here in this fourth quarter. He wants to talk it over. His team trailing 43-37. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back in 30 seconds. .7:01 remains in this matchup here on the women's side of the game. Lady Bulldogs trying to battle back. They've got it out of the timeout. As Jeff Rice had just called it to talk it over. Stone coming back to the scorer's table now. It's Mayo driving left side of the floor to the right. Throws it up between 2 defenders.
And got a kind bounce.
Got the home bounce for sure. Doesn't matter. It went in. They'll breathe a sigh of relief on that one. It's a 4-point lead for Bryan, though. Lady Bulldogs person-to-person defensively against this Lady Lions team. Lasky gets it. Mayo on her quickly through a screen. Bryan starting to try to bleed maybe a little bit of clock. Shot clock down to 6. Russell in the lane, missed it. That one very well could have been over the back on Russell, reaching around the neck of Anna Crowder, but it goes off of her anyway. Jimenez-Diaz will check out for Stone. Stone to bring it up the floor with 6:18 to play. Down by 4. Brings it near side of the court, moving from our right to our left. Wright takes Russell off the dribble. Shot just too strong. It's tipped around. Mulaski comes away with it as Martin hit the deck. Here's Kasner. Kasner's going to push the throat of Jacelyn Stone, and Bryan Faithful get to their feet on that one. That's the third foul. Stone able to be right there. Very bang timing on that one, but Kasner threw the hand into her and pushed her down, so it's Lady Bulldogs ball once again. Here comes Mayo, looking somewhere. Now out it comes to Crowder. Intercepting the pass is Russell. Read it the whole way on the skip. Stone got her hand in the way. Missed the shot was Russell, but 2 free throws coming off the second foul by Jacelyn Stone. Stone right there. You've seen her play, kind of thinking maybe she can strip it on the way up, but
Russell pretty strong.
Russell is strong. Got the shot off. It rolled out of the rim, though.
Russell did an outstanding job anticipating passing lane, getting a steal.
Russell gets the first one to fall. 44-39 the score. Back to his 5-point lead. Now make that 6 once again. Powell returns for Jordan Wright. 45-39 with under 5:40 to go. Men's game coming up after this one. It's always an entertaining matchup anytime Bryan and Tennessee Wesleyan get together. Stone gets a screen from Martin, skips it out to Mayo. Wesleyan offensively trying to find something. Here's Powell for 3, and she knocks it home. Pulls them to within 3. Big shot there by Powell. And now Stone steals it away from Majors. Over to Crowder and just overthrows it. That is unorthodox for 2 players that had a lot of that in the high school game with each other. Just threw it too far ahead of Anna Crowder and couldn't get to it.
I appreciate her willingness to try to give that up, but I just as soon see her take it to the go.
Yep. There's a 2-on-1 break. If you miss it, Crowder's got an opportunity at the rebound. Here goes Hennessy in the lane, and Powell prevents her from making the shot. So it draws another whistle. That's the second on Powell. Team third. Wright will return for Mayo. It's going to send Caitlin Hennessy to the line. 64.8% shooter on the season. Hennessy perfect 3 for 3 from the line now. It's back to a 4-point game. 4:58 to play. Hennessy converts both free throws. Stone with it in the front court. Flips it to the left side. From Martin back to Stone it goes. Now inside, Crowder got free. Makes an easy lay-in on the right side.
Bryan's trying to cheat over on possible down screen for Powell to come out for a 3. Crowder slipped the screen and went to the go. Very nice.
Good awareness by Anna Crowder. 3-point game, 47-44, under 4.5 to go. Hennessy circles around the top of the key, now drops it to Russell, who cuts down the left side of the lane. Wright blocks her on the way up, takes it away from her. Wesleyan with a 1-person advantage as Russell's late to the party. Wright goes up strong, no whistle, gets her own rebound. So Bryan ball underneath 21 on the shot clock. That's not a factor currently. Hennessy gets it into Farrell. Farrell from the left elbow drive. Wright thought she got a hand on it, but Farrell makes the lay-in on the left side.
It's too easy.
Back to a 5-point game. Under 3.5 we go. Crowder with it out front. Playing away from the basket with Kasner guarding her. Powell's got Russell guarding her, trying to take her off the dribble. Baxter touch pass quickly to Anna Crowder on her left. Shot clock at 7. Over to Powell. Powell takes a 3. It's blocked there by Russell. Shot clock is winding down, and then Mayo trying to come do the pick from behind on Hennessy and just runs her over. It's a 4th team foul on Tennessee Wesleyan. Full court pressure.
That's good and that's bad. That gets you in position if you've got a foul toward the end of the game. But it's a little early. We don't want to start putting them at the line for 2 at this point in the game.
Lasky gets it in and sends it right back to Hennessy. Hennessy across the Bulldog logo at midcourt. Hands it off to Kasner, who circles it around quickly in the lane. Jumper comes off and rebounded out by Powell. Lady Bulldogs with under 2:50 to play. And Coach Jeff Rice needs to draw it up after a couple of missed opportunities. His team down by 5 with 2:46 to play. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
WJSQ FM 101.7 Athens.
Out of the timeout, 2:46 remaining. Jeff Rice talking it over this ball club. Imagine, Coach, he might have set up a couple of different plays, but it's definitely an offensive possession here. They need to get some points on the board.
Yeah, I would think you're trying to run a set play here to get a particular shot. At least try to get one good shot out of it and
it's Anna
stay
Crowder.
in contact here. It's about, don't want to let them slide away.
As Mayo in the near corner, back to Anna Crowder. It goes in the corner. Wesleyan with 8 to shoot. Wright trying to take Hennessy off the dribble, and Wright makes it right over the arm of Hennessy.
Nice little pull-up jumper by Jordan.
Hennessy might have even got a piece of it, but it's a 3-point game as that one falls in. 49-46. Here's Molaski, a drive, and they're going to get a foul
on Molaski.
So that one, Greg Guerin not too extravagant on his charge call like officials normally are, but they're going to say he runs her over, or she runs her over, and that's the 4th, on Molaski. So they're going to leave her in the game right now. Tennessee Wesleyan may try to attack her. Mayo's got her Gardner. Here comes Wright, top of the key with Hennessy. Over to Crowder. Baxter cuts across the paint. Instead, it's Powell on the left wing, trying to get free. Dribbles into 2 defenders, and she travels with it. Bryan's done that a couple of times where they good help defense right there, and they prevent Wesleyan players from dribbling through the double team.
And with a double team, if somebody's open, you got to find the open place.
Hennessy gets the inbound. Guarded closely by Mayo. Under 2 we go, 1 possession game. Hennessy trying to take on Mayo, and that's going to be the 5th team foul on Tennessee Wesleyan.
And you're sending somebody to the line who has not missed a free throw tonight.
Second on Cambry. Coach is exactly right, as Hennessy is a perfect 4 of 4 at the line. Also, Kasner 6 of 6. Russell 4 for 4. Farrell 2 for 2. They have yet to miss one tonight. And Hennessy continues that streak for the Lady Lions. Makes it a 2-possession game. And pushes it to 5 now as Coach Johnson wants to talk it over with timeout on the floor. Wesleyan trailing 51-46 and 1:48 remaining. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Tennessee, Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison in this Appalachian Athletic Conference matchup from Dwayne Farmer Court inside James L. Robb Gymnasium. The Lady Bulldogs are battling the number 2 team in the Appalachian Athletic Conference standings. They've back-to-back games. They've faced 1 and 2 in the standings. Reinhardt got the better of them after 3 strong quarters by the Lady Bulldogs on Saturday. Lady Bulldogs have put together a better game here. Baxter takes a 3 off the pass from Wright, and it comes off the front of the rim into the hands of Hennessy.
Needed that one.
Hennessy, Coach Rice telling them not to foul her. She's got the ball in her hands with 1:25 to play and a 5-point lead. Molaski in against Mayo. Mayo was straight up on that one. But they're going to get Cambry with her third foul. So that's going to send Lasky at the line. 80% shooter on the season. See if she can continue the Bryan streak that I believe, yep, it's up to 18 now. And she does just that. 52-46 the score. And that's another one from Lasky. Wesleyan gets Stone back into the ball game. Largest lead at 7 right there for either team. Jimenez Diaz back in. It's been some time since we've seen her.
I think you could ask Coach Rice before the game if he'd be happy if Bryan had 53 points with 1:20 to go. It's been ecstatic, but we just not put it in the basket enough.
Only 46 for his ball club. Jimenez Diaz taking it down the left side of the lane. Skip out to Stone. Stone fakes the shot. A little head nod. Now it's right on the far wing. Got to be more efficient here offensively as Powell misses the three. Farrell walks with it. Oh no, they're going to get Mayo with the foul. That's going to be the fourth on Mayo. Coach Rice.
I think she just fell down.
That's what she kind of tried to throw her hip into Cambry Mayo, who backed off, and then she fell. And I can tell you, I don't think Greg Guerin and Jeff Rice are discussing golf plans or anything, but it's going to send Farrell to the line with 57.9 and a 7-point advantage. She's perfect 2 of 2 on the day from there. And she missed it. There's the first miss for Bryan. So here comes Katie Farrell again, the freshman from Smithville, Tennessee. Converts the second one. Coach Jeff Rice calls the timeout to set up some offense here. 57.9 remaining. It's an 8-point game. And Coach Jeff Rice wants to talk it over for 60 seconds. So we'll be back from Tennessee Wesleyan in 60 seconds. Back here from James L. Robb, it's 54-46, the 8-point advantage for Bryan, the largest of the ball game. They've done a big share of that, Coach, at the free throw line. We were just discussing, talking about what they were shooting from the field versus the free throw line. That's what's the difference in this score right now.
No question. Been outscored 11 points at the free throw line. You're down 8 points in the game.
Mayo to key it in. She's got 4 fouls for Tennessee Wesleyan. Wright with the ball, takes a three and drills it. Jordan Wright with a big three there. Gives us a glimmer of hope here for the Lady Bulldogs. And then Bryan turns it over. 5-point game, 49.4 to go. So the Lady Bulldog front court. Here's Stone with it. Trying to catch Bryan sleeping. Powell from the near corner. Three-pointer no good. Wright gets a long rebound, goes up. Doesn't get the kiss off the glass. It's tipped out of bounds by Bryan there. So 40.3. It'll be Stone to key it in underneath. Lob into Jordan Wright. Got Kasner guarding her, trying to take Kasner on. Goes up strong on the right side and gets the bucket. It's a 3-point game. 35 seconds remaining. Hennessy with it. Gets it up to Kasner. Now Stone's going to foul Kasner. So Stone's going to pick up her third. It doesn't matter what the team's at because they're at 5 already. So 54-51, 29.8 remaining.
Not really who you want to foul, but who do you want to foul? They've missed
That's
one all
exactly
night.
right.
I don't think anybody's going to touch it that isn't a good free throw shooter.
Every one of them on the floor has really done a good job for Bryan of shooting it.
There we go.
Kasner misses it. So still hope here with 29.8. Shot clock is turned off. It's a 3-point advantage for Bryan. Make that a 4-point advantage. Coach Jeff Rice is going to take the timeout and advance the ball. We'll stay here with you through this timeout. It's only a 30-second timeout, so it's 55-51 with 29.8. The women's game, you can advance it, so he's going to take it in his own front court. Coach, do you go for the 3 or do you just try to get a quick 2?
No, there's plenty of time left. You're going to take it hard to the goal. If they try to help, you're going to kick it outside to get to 3 if it's there. But at this point, I'd take it hard to the goal. Try to get to 2. If you can draw the foul, that's fine. They do a lot of helping. If they do step in to help and you can kick to an open shooter, that'd be great.
And Brown's also had some issues getting it past half court. They've turned it over numerous times. So if you can make a quick shot, 2 or a 3, you have an opportunity to set up that press, maybe force another turnover for Bryan.
Time is so short, it's almost hard to put any pressure on when you're trying to get a quick foul.
So it's Wesleyan winning the turnover battle 14-17. Possession arrow does favor the Lady Lions. Cambry Mayo will be the inbounder here in front of the scorer's table. Stone, Powell, Wright, and Jimenez Diaz out there for the Lady Bulldogs. Powell sets a screen for Stone. Wright gets the handoff, takes a big 3 at the top of the key, about banks it home. Ball's loose, Jimenez Diaz gets it, pulls up from the baseline and drills it. There's the 2-pointer after the missed 3. Hennessy gets the inbounds, 17 seconds to go, trying to get it away from Russell, and then Wright hits the deck hard as Hennessy had already fallen down after taking the foul. Jordan Wright, hard hit on the floor with her head. 2-point game, 55-53. Jordan Wright.
To the back of her head, I believe.
Yep. So it'll send Hennessy to the line. She'd gotten fouled before Russell was able to get away from Jordan Wright. Now I believe they're going to take Jordan Wright out of the ball game because they stopped it momentarily, and so Crowder will come in for Jordan Wright. Hennessy at the line. Again, if she misses one of the 2 that she will have, it's still a chance with 15.2 remaining. This one much different than that game at Bryan earlier this season where it was a 90-64 loss. Hennessy's first free throw is good, though. 3-point game, this one a big one.
It is a big one. Get it to 2 possessions.
And she converts both of them.
Not a kind bounce.
And so Jeff Rice is going to take, I believe, his final timeout. Talk this one over with his team down by 4, 57-53. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back here, Tennessee Wesleyan trailing by 4 with the ball. Anna Crowder's going to inbound it. Doesn't look like Jordan Wright has returned here in the timeout, so she is out currently. So that takes away one of your offensive weapons right there. She's got 11. Jimenez Diaz out there. She's got 12. She's got the ball inside the lane. Euro step through, gets the lay-in. It's back to a 2-point game, 57-55. Bryan's going to call the timeout and advance it. 11.7 remaining. Coach Ross, if he had another timeout, would have probably tried to call it quickly before Coach Johnson. I've seen him do that a couple of times, but here's Bryan with it in their front court, and up by 2, 57-55, 11.7 remaining. Defensively right here, Coach, we've talked about the foul shooting. Everybody on their team's essentially making their foul shots except for a miss or 2 here or there, but what do you got to do defensively here?
Deny the inbounds pass. You got to deny hard on the inbounds, and should they receive it, that'll be an immediate foul.
So it will be Hennessy to inbound it. She's 8 for 8 at the line. She's been their biggest shooter along with Kasner. She's 7 of 8.
I always like trying to draw a charge like that. And they got it.
So a foul on Russell is now Wesleyan Stone is on the floor, and that's going to be the third on Bryan, but it does give the ball to Tennessee Wesleyan at 11.7, and Stone, the ball handler for Wesleyan, is down. Kelly Seekins, Director of Athletic Training, out there tending to her as Coach Rice is going to huddle up. He's going to have to get somebody back to the floor.
Somebody's got to go to the game.
And Jordan Wright shaking it off, so she, let's see, he's now going to go out as Stone getting help to her feet, checking on Stone as well. So out there for the Lady Bulldogs, it's Crowder, Mayo, Jimenez-Diaz, and Powell. And Coach Jeff Rice was making sure if he had a timeout. So he's trying to figure out who he's going to put in, asking the official for a few more minutes. It's going to be Martin. He's going to throw it out to Martin out there. So Wesleyan will inbound it, side out of bounds in front of the Bryan bench. No timeouts, a 2-point game with 11.7. Mayo's going to have to come get the ball. Crowder gets it into her. Mayo running the point over to Jimenez-Diaz. Takes on Hennessy, layup, falls off to the right side, and Kasner gets the rebound and quickly fouled with 4.5. Had a good look, just could not get the shot to fall. So it comes off the side of the rim.
Went to the left side, swung out just a little bit too far, a little bit too hard, just couldn't get it to go.
So with 4.5 remaining, Kasner's going to step to the line. Lady Bulldogs have definitely battled their way through this one that Bryan has held the lead the majority of the game, but Lady Bulldogs have been right there. It's a 3-point game still, as Kasner makes the first one with 4.5 remaining.
We got no timeout, so we got to go full court.
She missed it. Martin gets the rebound up to Jimenez-Diaz. Jimenez-Diaz tries to heave it at the buzzer, and it's going to come off the glass. No good. It was inside the arc anyway. But the Lady Bulldogs give it a run all the way to the end. They fall against Bryan here at home for the 10th time in a row by a final score of 58-55. Lady Bulldogs dropped to 9-6 overall, 7-6 inside the conference. They're 6-2 here at home and have dropped their last 2 ball games. Bryan goes to 14-3, 12-1 in the conference, 7-2 on the road, and they have now won 4 straight games. And Coach Jeff Rice is quickly going to make his way up here, so we'll stay right here to wrap this one up with him and talk to him just for a few minutes. And as his ball club falls 58-55, and Coach, definitely a much different game than the one from Dayton earlier this year. Your team battles down to the wire, doesn't give up, had opportunities at the end, a couple of injuries, had to battle through at the end, but just still a disappointing loss after a hard-fought game.
I mean, we don't give up 17 friggin' threes like we did over there. That was kind of the difference in the basketball game. I thought we fought very well. We never could get in sync offensively. We got some good shots. We knocked down a few shots, but it just always was rushed. But, their size has a lot to do with that. We can't get to the rim. We have to take Stone out, a lot of it just because it's size. She can't get her shot off over those. Hopefully her and Jordan will be fine. Who knows with concussions and knees, and you never know. But we showed a lot of heart. We showed a lot of fight. I thought we rebounded pretty well. We defended them very, very well. I told them before the game, the main thing is we've shown we can play with these good teams, okay? But at some point, we've got to beat one of these good teams. And I'm not into moral victories. And we was closer than it was over there. I wanted to win a basketball game, and we were probably up one big shot away from having a really good chance to do that.
You kind of talked about it. The rebounding category is 37-36. They do advance you one there. You really shot the ball. Struggled to find offensive, just the size. Their help defense seemed to be an issue on a lot of it.
We kept trying to talk to seal that backside kid because they had one underneath. Whoever's the girl they were guarding the corner was head underneath the basket. All right, so we were trying to pin that backside girl. We just never could get her streamed to throw it to the backside and shoot some wide open threes. And, but it was great effort. Again, we battled really hard. We played really hard. And we shot a bunch of they shot a bunch of free throws.
Yeah, they shot a ton of free throws. It's one that you don't turn the ball over, but you turn them over a lot in the backcourt. The press, able to force some travel, some throwaways. So defensively, you played really strong against them in the backcourt.
We knew we couldn't get in a half-court game with them with their size, so we needed to make it as fast as we could. We probably didn't push it as much as I would have liked to, but you know, it is what it is. We cut down the rotation because we had to have size in the game, you know, and we're growing as a basketball team. We're getting better. We still got to be able to make some shots when it counts.
So, Coach, you go on the road, a long road trip, St. Andrews. Hopefully you can get Wright and Stone healthy for that trip, because that'll be a big one against St. Andrews to get back into the win column.
Get back in the win column, exactly.
So, Coach, we appreciate you joining us on a tough, hard-fought battle against Bryan.
Thanks, guys.
So, Coach, as you pointed out to him, showed him on the stats there, when the team shoots that many free throws, it's going to be hard to beat them because, one, you're putting them at the line and they're knocking them down.
Yeah, you get outscored 15 points at the free throw line in a three-point game. They shoot 28, we shoot 11. They shoot 25 of 28, we shoot 10 of 11. Both teams shot them extremely well. That is, shot so many more than we did. And,
Lady Bulldogs end shooting 28.6 from the field, Bryan 30.6. Behind the arc, it was fairly even, but the Lady Bulldogs have the advantage by 18% to 13.5. And then the individual scoring, Kasner leads the way for all scores with 19, Russell with 12, and 10 for Hennessy. They do it well at the free throw line. But then on the other side for the Lady Bulldogs, it's Jacob Jimenez-Diaz with 14 points, 8 rebounds to her credit, 6 of 16 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the line. Jordan Wright with 11 points on 6 rebounds and 1 assist. And then J.C. Powell with 7, Mayo with 7, Martin with 6, Anna Crowder with 5, and Jacelyn Stone with 5. And that trio also had 4 rebounds apiece. So Lady Bulldogs dropped their second game in a row against the number 2 team in the conference. And it came down to the wire, had an opportunity at the end, but they drop it 58-55 to go to 9-6 overall and 7-6 inside the conference. So we've got the men's game coming up next. Both teams out there warming up. It'll be a hotly contested ball game again. It's always fun when Bryan and Wesleyan get together. And so we expect that to be back and forth coming up next. The Wesleyan men trying to get back into the win column as well. So that'll wrap up our women's broadcast. We're going to send it back to Handsome Dan at the station, let him spin some records, and we'll be back with you right before the start of the men's game. Back to you, Handsome Dan.
You have been listening to Tennessee Wesleyan.